Recently rebranded and forgot about it.
Hi,
And I'm here
I'm
with S
As.
today.
Um,
Is not picking up?
oh,
Okay, is it working now? Hopefully it is, but
hello.
hello everybody. Welcome to Checkmate Tourney.
Hello. Welcome in, everyone.
Yeah, so we are going to be doing the first round of the round robin between D's Nation versus Activators. I'm Mixie Malice and I'm joined here today with S.
Hi, I'm S, or Wisteria Blossoms. I'm super excited for the tournament today. We have some really great lineups coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to both teams playing. For D's Nation, we're going to be having their starting lineup of Sally, Polars, Green, and Bossy, and Mushin will be their hunter. I believe they're going to be hunting first for the first half of round one. And as for activators, we're going to be having Mirone, Shulk, Mikai's X, and Silent Fox for their survivors, and then Endertons as their hunter.
Super excited for today's lineup. Obviously we all know Mushin. Super duper excited to see Mushin play. Hopefully we get to see a geisha today because Mushin's geisha is just so crazy.
I agree, and I definitely think that's highly likely since we're going to be entering round one with no hunter bans, so anything is on the table for Mushin to use. I'm also looking forward to what picks the activators survivors are going to be going with because they tend to go with really interesting comps, and honestly, it's going to be highly likely that we're gonna get some off meta picks, even just for round one, where you're more likely to go ham on the meta.
Right. Definitely you get that free pass in the first round there with no bans coming in. So you get to see a lot more interesting choices or commonplace choices that come from typical tournaments that you don't really get to see late game. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out.
Same here. And at the moment, we're going through the character bans and picks. Mushin has opted to ban coordinator and psychologist first thing.
You know, seeing a psych band really is really interesting nowadays. Especially because she can take that third hit. A lot of double hit hunters aren't really keen on chasing down that psych. And of course, we have the coordinator ban. We've definitely been seeing a rise in meta when it comes to playing coordinator. Just on the offset chance that she is universally a really great support and rescue.
I definitely agree. And it does look like we are going to be having activators lock in as magician and lawyer first. Really fun. We've been seeing lawyer a lot in this tournament so far. I know yesterday during the round robin, we saw lawyer multiple times. And of course, magician is a really great pick as well.
Yeah, you know, ever since seeing that lawyer buff go in and pull through, that extra speed boost when you hold up the map and everything really
Mhm.
is super duper helpful. And obviously, for early game kite when you're not pushing for presence or anything, super, super helpful.
Yeah, for sure. So it does look like Mushin is gonna opt for an antiquarian ban next thing. And honestly, good idea because Antiquarian is such a great character to utilize and support your teammates. However, it does leave lots of options for their team, especially considering some of their members are really adaptable and can definitely take on the role of harasser. I know Shulk can play like prospector, forward, batter. That would be fun to see as well, and we might even see some wildling because Mickey's ex plays wildling as well. That would be really fun. I'm interested in seeing who they have as their rescuer.
It looks like we are getting our final picks in, and looks like we're seeing a Merc and Gardner play. Looks like we're setting up for an opera singer here.
I think Gardener is the ban.
Oh, is
So
it?
but I think your point still stands. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so we are gonna have Mercenary as our pick. For our third pick, and then Gardener is gonna be the next band. So honestly, I do enjoy the rise in Gardener usage as well, but considering she's off the table for the time being, I can definitely anticipate that opera singer, which I believe we've seen from Mushin as well. And of course, we've been seeing her in our rank matches. If you don't ban her like me and S, but anyways.
My rise in banning opera singers slowly starting to dwindle, but again, I am a perfumer main, and it's really nice seeing that there's a hunter out there that that the perfumer can counter again, because it's been kind of a long time.
For sure. I would love to see some perfumer in this tournament as well. Hopefully during our bracket S. S is
She
like
was
the
here
biggest
the other day.
perfumer.
I was so mad.
Yeah. S is like the biggest perfumer fan that I know. So if anybody is willing to give some fan service.
I was gonna say, we're in what, season 25? I've been a straight perfumer player since season 11, so
Whoa.
14 seasons of just straight Varinair.
We're almost at season 30 S.
Are we really?
Yes, we're in season 29 right now.
Okay,
So
well,
it's even
that's my
longer.
bad. That's
No
been like
worries.
18 seasons. In my defense, I did take 6 months of just not playing.
No, don't even worry about it. Same here. But yeah, I agree with Bones in the chat. We're gonna be seeing Bones commentate later, which is gonna be fun. But for now, definitely agree that she's like one of the top counters in the Asia scene. I'm wondering who they're gonna end up choosing as their fourth and final pick for their lineup. I know they have oh, here we go, Patient. I was going to say Activators has like two people who are very used to playing Mercenary, but Silent Fox is pretty good on the Patient. I think that's their main for sure. So I guess we're going to be having Patient there, and that's going to be really fun to see the hooks utilized. Hopefully they'll be able to break the distance because regardless of whether or not Mushin is going to be playing Geisha or Opera Singer, Mushin will really be able to close in the distance between the survivors during those chases.
For sure. Honestly, seeing Patient get utilized more and more as of late, despite everything that goes against him, is really interesting, especially because we keep seeing that Psychologist ban go through, so he's missing out on one of his strongest traits. So being able to see how people utilize him without the Psychologist next to him is really interesting to me. Always catches my eye.
Same here. I look forward to seeing how this matchup goes. I'm also interested in seeing their persona webs. I hope we're gonna see something fun. Though, in fairness, it is the first half of round one, so it might be better to play it safe regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
And we do have the persona webs in right now. It looks like we're going to be having Broken Windows and Borrowed Time for the Magician, as well as the Lawyer and Patient. So Mercenary, of course, will be the one bringing Tide Turner.
I've noticed this a lot. It's a common thing, especially for patients. you don't normally see them run Tide Turner anymore now. No. So, um, seeing everyone pretty much breaking broken windows is really interesting. There's no flywheel on this team composition as well, which usually we would see at least one or two people run with that.
Sorry, I just had to briefly mute because I hear the drilling in the wall, but it does look like um Mushin is going to lock in as opera singer. Oh, sorry for taking up the space. I'm not going to be surviving for activators. I always end up doing this every single time I'm on.
Okay. I mean, you could.
Oh, no way. No way.
No way. Yeah, it looks like we're all just setting up the team at the moment. So really anticipating a really interesting match here.
Honestly, I do see why Mushin would bring out the opera singer early on, considering there's no bans for the hunters at the moment. Though it does bring up the question, who will activators plan on banning later? But I'm getting ahead of myself. I am really looking forward to this match. Red Church is a pretty solid first map choice as well.
No, I definitely agree. In terms of maps, Red Church is one of my favorites. It's pretty universally, in my opinion, balanced. I do enjoy the smaller map layout and the better areas to kite. And there's a lot of decent open space as well.
Yeah,
And it does
absolutely.
look like we are seeing the opera singer, definitely as predicted with the Gardener band going in, especially because she is 100% rising up in our the Asian scene for meta.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mikai's X is going to be on the Mercenary, Shulk will be on Magician, Silent Fox, of course, will be on Patient, and Mirone will be the Lawyer. We're heading over to the band, not the band, the area pick, and it does look like we're going for Mercenary and Center, always a good idea. I do like the spawn that the Lawyer has chosen. Definitely a strong kiting area, but Opera Singer is gonna opt for that back gate spawn. And honestly, we'll just have to see how it pans out because there's definitely going to be a better option between the patient and lawyer for first chase.
For sure. And that the Lawyer is in such a strong position here. That corners lots of pallets, lots of obstacles that would push the opera singer out of her shadow form.
For sure. All right, this is the first half of round one with the DN Hunter going up against the Activator Survivors. Good luck to both teams.
And it looks like we are on the Lawyer for our first chase. As predicted, we are going for not the pallet spam, but just placing down pallets to really force Mushin, this opera singer, out of her shadow form just to get her out of that speed. And it does look like, unfortunately, Miron is taking that first hit. No pallet in the area here, but we are seeing a little distance with that broken windows going in.
Yep. And oh, okay. Good on Mirone for looping back, but we are going to see Mushin switch over to the shadow and down Mirone here.
Really, really great placement of the wisp there. Really anticipating Mirone really vaulting over that pallet just to get a little bit more distance. It was really great prediction on Mushin's end.
Yeah, for sure. And we are going to be seeing Mushin go towards the center, pressuring the mercenary, really getting up close there, and the mercenary does end up using an elbow pad to get out from the other side. It does look like we're gonna have the magician go in for the rescue and a chair
And we have the
bomb.
chair hit. You know,
Oh
really,
wow!
ooh,
Getting a nice
great
hit on the
hit.
magician despite the wand putting that decoy in between the pallets there. Lawyer is still in the area and Mushin is gaining on him. Oh, and we are gonna see another switch and Lawyer goes down in the back here.
Yeah, really forcing that Merc away from the rescue area and forcing them to rescue with broken windows definitely puts a little bit of a disadvantage here because you don't have the extra time that comes with Tide Turner.
Yeah, for sure. Mercenary was also able to heal up the magician, but it does put a little bit of a delay in terms of their decoding. We are gonna have Opera Singer switch back over to the graveyard where Mercenary is going in for the rescue. He still has a few elbow pads left to utilize, but yeah, and there we go. We are gonna see another elbow pad here, and there's still ample time, and he gets the rescue in.
Looks like we were going back to
Oh.
just try and take out that mercenary. Missing the hit there, we're gonna turn around and start chasing the lawyer again. He is dead on chair, so being able to get this hit off would definitely help.
Yeah, going in for that mercenary initially, Mushin was able to. Oh, and a missed blink right there. Oh, nice pellet fault from Mirones, and he was able to get away from the blink and hit, and the switch in the wisp.
Mhm.
I didn't get to finish my thought, but going for that mercenary initially got him to utilize his last elbow pad and then immediately switch targets to catch up really fast. We are
Yep,
gonna see
looks like
Lawyer
we.
get down here. And now we are gonna see the change in targets. Opera Singer is heading right towards middle where they know that the cipher is being decoded. Silent Fox is in the next kite. And he's going to utilize a hook to transition over towards the window and over to the shack.
Looks like we missed the hook through the window just a little bit,
Oh, but
but
then we got that one.
yeah. um, really no feat for Mushin, but we are seeing just the small delay that comes with Opera Singer's hitbox being so small here. Um, Small and narrow,
Oh,
but
so we are
for
going to
me,
see a target hit change.
oh, okay. Yeah, but for sure, Mushin is someone who's been the top geisha for the past few seasons. Her hitbox and Opera Singer's hitbox are so similar. Really, no small feat here.
For sure. We are gonna see a hit on Shulk here, the magician. Oh, excellent! Oh,
Oh,
that was a really cool wand, but unfortunately the pallet stun really gave away that he was still in the premises, and Mushin gets the last hit on the magician to down him. We do have one cipher remaining, however, and it does allow the mercenary to head over. Oh,
utilizing that
teleport, the last
teleport.
cipher. Oh, and patient is going to go down right here. Unfortunately, mercenary doesn't have any more elbow pads to utilize. It does look like he has a syringe, but of course, not much you can do with that at the moment. And
Looks like
Opera
we
Singer is
are
gonna transition back towards the church to um, continue the pursuit.
really forcing this mercenary here to pick the one or the other. We are unfortunately just seeing a lot of the distance that the opera singer can get in such a small period of time.
Oh, we're seeing Magician decode that cipher. It does look like a mercenary won't be able to get Silent Fox over here, especially. Yep, there we are. We are going to be seeing mercenary get chaired over by the reception area. Unfortunately, the dungeon spawn is right by this chair, so it's going to be really tough. Gonna be a really tough situation for Shulk. Oh, we are gonna see the final cipher pop, but Mushin is closing in on Shulk super fast. We're gonna see one last decoy.
Really great distance coming off of Mickey here, really pinching for the extra space that comes.
Oh no,
Unfortunately, we're
unfortunately
getting
Shulk
hit
gets
through
hit
the
through the
pallet.
pallet. Yeah. So we are going to be seeing a four elimination on Mushin's end. Congratulations to D's Nation for the point lead right here. Of course, this is still the first half of round 1, so there's lots of room for activators to catch up as well. But really great stuff. So I'm having a
was a
look at the
really
deductions.
crazy match.
It was. I definitely think that things could have gone a little differently considering the cipher progress. It got better towards the end, but I think in the beginning, chasing their decoder and also kind of pressuring the other cipher, especially the one in middle, they ended up abandoning that church cipher completely. They're really good on Mushin's end, honestly. And I do think it was a good move to have someone else end up going in for the first rescue, especially since Mercenary was the one who was being pressured off of that cipher. Saving that tide for later did help for a redemption kite, but of course, considering opera singer's skills and full presence, it was really easy for Mushin to catch up and continuing to injure the rest of the team, really.
No, for sure. The initial push of getting the Merc off the cipher in the center there and having him elbow pad away really did help Mushin, unfortunately, though. Really forcing the mercenary away from his target and designated position of being the rescuer here and forcing the magician to go in and take that extra hit. Even if he got healed up, unfortunately the time there to heal up the rescue did take away from more decoding progress.
Absolutely. Alright, so we are going to be moving into the second half of round 1. Let's have a look and see. We are proceeding into the ban and pick selection. Enderton is going to opt for a Priestess and Dancer ban. Pretty solid, especially Dancer. I do think that she's pretty strong on Church, but I could just be biased. Priestess, good on any map really though. I think it does give room for some other characters who can create a lot of distance and really add that extra support to their team.
For sure. And honestly, I'm not, and this is just, a personal thing, not always very keen on the ban of Priestess on smaller maps, but on a map like Red Church, you definitely would love to see that because she can get you into smaller spaces super duper fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you utilize Priestess towards the church, you can really do a lot with those pews if you set it up correctly. It does look like Dian is going to lock in as barmaid and novelist first thing.
We're really going to see, just because we are not playing in a tournament server, we're going to see the novelist buff come into play here. Having played with a few, it's actually pretty good. Being
It's
able to
so funny.
swap places with a hunter like that. Oh, no
It's
novelist.
so
Okay, we were
funny.
just informed no novelist.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. We're going to
And
point
at the
out that
start of the
novelist.
tourney, so we're gonna stick with those rules. Make sure it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, it would have been
Scratch that.
I'm sorry, I have like the biggest smile on my face just because I find his rework to be so funny. Like you just stare at the hunter, and the next thing you know, like you swap places. It's just so funny. It
Well,
happened to
okay,
me
and
the
he was
last,
like,
like the other night when I was streaming. Right, I was trying out Fool's Gold, and I was staring directly at the novelist, and the next thing I know, we just switched places, and it was just too funny to me. I was gonna start laughing.
no, Eddie was right though, because okay, we're a little into Jujutsu Kaisen at the moment, and I think it's really funny because there's a character
Yes.
that can literally fucking do that. Like, so being able to see that in a game is really funny to me.
It is. It really is. Okay, but they are going to end up having to lock in as someone else. Getting barmaid first thing is really smart choice. But of course, whoever you lock in first will become the universal band. So it does
All
look like we're gonna have
right.
Barmaid and Seer, a really, really solid combination.
For sure. I thoroughly enjoy this combination. Also, like the combination of seer, barmaid, and then obviously flywheel. Especially if you're the barmaid and you're kiting, it really gives longevity to your kite. Especially when you're trying to down your doblin to get that heal in. You have the owl or the extra protection of the flywheel here. Barmaid is really interesting watching her rise a little bit more and more every day in the meta here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Um, I'm anticipating the next ban because I feel like we'll be able to. Okay, Endertons is going to opt for an antiquarian ban.
Still a pretty universal ban, so I can't really predict who will be seen here.
We do know that Endertons has some pretty fun hunter picks. Maybe we could see Hermit, maybe we could see Disciple, Wax Artist perhaps. I think Wax Artist is pretty good on Church, but honestly, I do like all of these hunters on this map. Not to go up against, but you know what I mean.
You know. Maybe if I was playing them. But
So
yeah,
we are going to be having Mercenary as our second pick. Or sorry, third pick for the EN survivors.
yeah, really seeing a lot of mercenary bands just kind of not dissipate, but they're becoming a little bit fewer with his nerf coming in here, which makes a very interesting play. But unfortunately, you know, faster falling speed and the chair time,
Yeah, absolutely.
really hard hitting nerf on that mercenary there.
Mm-hmm. You can't let him marinate as much anymore.
So unfortunate.
It does give room for first officer. I'd love to see some first officer later. I know we have a few um in maybe both teams, but I know for sure we've seen some first officer from Bossy.
Oh,
But of
for
course,
sure.
Mercenary always a solid top pick, but first officer not too bad as well. We're going to go with the last ban. Maybe we'll be able to figure it out for the last ban.
Maybe, but some these are some pretty universal bands, so really hoping. I do agree. I think the barmaid pick is not anticipating a
Enchantress. It's
hermit,
hermit.
right?
Yeah, I think
So
so.
we my number one thing is like if I see an enchant ban, it's definitely a hermit. That easy stacks for her.
Yeah, honestly, good patience on Enderton's part though,
For sure.
for saving like the telling bans because obviously if you ban her first thing, it's gonna be really easy to tell with Enderton's track record and of course the ban. But let's see who Dian ends up choosing last. I'm hoping for a bit of a wild card because so far, oh, we're gonna see psychologist. Okay,
Well,
nice.
perfect.
It's gonna be fun to see considering she was banned in the previous match.
Really looks like we're going for a team that can survive here. Especially with the psychologist and the barmaid duo here. Both survivors are very big on lifespan.
Mm-hmm. Not just for themselves, but for the rest of their teammates as well. I definitely think it'll benefit them, especially in extending their kites. Um, Being able to contain that hermit for as long as you can, especially once he's connected those ciphers and slowed down decoding, will really benefit them in the long run.
For sure. We're slowly waiting for our persona traits to come in. Really anticipating either broken windows or a flywheel coming off of this barmaid. And the same goes for the psychologist here. Obviously, we'll have the Merc with Tide Turner. And maybe the Seer with broken windows as well.
One bring flywheel. I'd be so excited.
Oh
Oh, we're
my
gonna
god,
be
he's
seeing
bringing
Seer with a
flywheel?
flywheel. Let's go. Okay.
I was wrong.
And psychologist and barmaid will be bringing the broken windows, however.
Alright, yep. The flywheel definitely going to the Seer is very interesting to me here. But I can't really speak much. I don't see Seers as often nowadays, because he is so quickly banned. So I'm not really sure how this one is utilized, but definitely a barmaid with broken windows.
He's not gonna play Hermit. Honestly, it makes sense considering the team composition. We
Oh,
are gonna
for
be
sure.
seeing Disciple from Endertons in this first round. Ooh.
Yeah, you know, the Enchantress band really set me up there for a Hermit play here, but seeing a Disciple play come into place really feels like Enderton's looked into the team composition that was laid out here and was fully expecting the counter here.
Yep. Really solid stuff. And I am really excited to see Disciple. I don't see her as much anymore either. But
Maybe we should ring together because I see her all the time.
oh it's okay. We're gonna be on that rank grind. But anyways, I do really look forward to seeing how she'll be utilizing those cats. I think breaking that distance, being able to break that distance will benefit in catching up with the more tankier aspects of the team. I think all of the characters on this team are pretty tanky though. So it's gonna
For
be
sure.
it's gonna require a lot of strategy from Enderton's end, but that's not a hard thing to ask for considering it's Enderton's. We are going to be proceeding into the area selection now.
Yeah, we're in our map selection here. Looks like we're going for a very similar layout as the last match with DN. Except we're putting we're putting our Disciple right at the beginning on the red carpet, down the aisle here. Putting her right into place of Psychologist.
Yep. And we are entering the second half of round 1 with DN Survivors versus Activators Hunter. Good luck to both teams. Ooh, it's the new Anne S tier.
She is so beautiful.
Alright, so we're gonna have the Disciple go into church, and it does look like Sally is over at the window there. I'm not sure if Enderton saw, or if
no,
he just
it
opted
does
for a
look like
new target.
It does look like Sally was just out of the blind spot here.
And it does look like Bosie is gonna be our first kite here. Barmaid does get catted right here. And we are gonna see one first hit here, thanks to the cats. We are gonna see another Dublin used.
Really have to push for distance here with this barmaid. Just because, unfortunately, hitting that other cat there, if we can push for the distance, we can manage to really get, yeah, perfect heal up on this barmaid here.
Yep, but Blink is ready and really great dodge from the Blink. Good idea to transition to this area as well. This is like a death spot for Blink, but we are going to be seeing Bosie mix a new Dublin. Not able to use it quite yet due to the cats, but it does look like Sierra's off spectate as well from the owl.
Yep, so unfortunately, we are seeing that
Ooh, nice
beautiful
usage of
owl
the owl
coming
right
off
there.
of Polar's here, really pushing for the longevity of this barmaid to finally get her drink off. She is using that speed boost, and she is finally getting that final heal off, which means we are seeing a straight rock height come off this barmaid now.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and the utilization of Blink early on in the game does allow for some more distance. And oh, okay, we're gonna see a vault over here, but we are gonna see another hit.
We are down to 2 ciphers.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like we are slowly transitioning to our new ones. Nothing has been started just yet.
Mm-hmm. It does look like the barmaid is going over towards the mercenary. Um, and mercenary is
Mercenary
able to
picking
get
up that cat
yes,
for the barmaid there.
and dropping all the pallets as well to help support for that vaulting. I do believe, yeah, barmaid is bringing the broken windows, and transitioning over to reception. However,
Yeah, Wedding Gate is definitely a very great place to be. When you're going for um
oh,
distance, and we are seeing the barmaid go down just because the cat stun locked there.
oh,
Um,
Green went into a chest and is bringing over a perfume for the barmaid, while psychologist and Seer work on the last two ciphers.
oh, I see now. It does seem like Green passed off his elbow pads to the barmaid
Okay.
here. Really trying to help push this barmaid just a little bit longer. We are
Oh, we are
almost
gonna
done
see
with
a
one cipher.
teleport.
Yep, we're seeing a change here. Moving over to Polar's, trying to inhibit. This is the primed cipher.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Polar's used his owl for the barmaid's Dublin too early on. So we are going to be seeing a little bit of slower vaulting. No usage of the owl until that's able to get back up. But Sierra has transitioned over to the church with Mercenary not too far behind. And the psychologist is approaching that last cipher as well.
Yeah, looks like the psychologist is just waiting for the cats to run off and disappear before she is pushing for that final cipher. It is at 90%, really close to being primed there. It
I
does look
do think it's
like,
gonna be popped. Yeah, there we
yeah,
go. They're gonna go
we're
in for the
popping the
pop. Everyone's
cipher.
back at full health. But it does look like Entertainment is going to continue pursuit with the psychologist here.
Yep, looks like we are seeing the psychologist go down, not being able to just miss the cat, only just barely. And really giving time for both gates to get opened. Looks like the mercenary is in the area, the vicinity, and has a euphoria on him.
Oh, we're gonna see Barmaid leave the gate and Mercenary go in for the rescue.
Utilizing that final elbow pad he has here.
I think he's been through quite some chest digging because Barmaid has the two elbow pads from Mercenary. And switching out for a perfume as well.
Barmaid is bringing that perfume over to the mercenary, it seems. She's swapping the items out. He is taking that hit.
Yep, and he's gonna
There
get
we
a
are.
hold of those elbow pads. We are gonna be seeing a teleport, however. Ooh, risky stuff right here. Yeah, we are gonna be seeing Mercenary go down with the cats here, just before the gate. However, there is about 35 seconds left of detention, so it's possible for them to...
Really try and get that rescue in here. Waiting out for detention. The seer just does not quite have an owl just yet. And looks like everyone is really in the vicinity, really pushing for that 4-man escape.
Now, oh... We are going to be seeing Barmaid go down right here. It will be
Fortunately,
Barmaid's
detention
second
was just
here.
not up just yet.
It is now, with both Mercenary now rescued and Seer close by.
Just barely on our way to an owl. Looks like we're accumulating extra rage so we can really get that support in. Mercenary
Right.
is digging through a chest here.
Oh, great use of the flywheel by the Seer. Nice utilization of
Nice.
the elbow pads as well. Mercenary is gonna go down, but I think he's got another chair in him. Psychologist is also gonna eat a hit here, and they're heading straight towards the gate.
Seer is still in the vicinity, really pushing for this rescue.
Oh,
Yeah, the extra
great
8 on the
owl.
psychologist getting her out of the gate there.
Yep, and it does look like we are going to be going back to the mercenary who is currently getting healed by the barmaid right now.
Still has the extra elbow pads on her. Really great for her to be able to get that distance. Are we going to be able to see the Seer get out just in time? Unfortunately, we are going to see him get hit.
Yeah, but we are going to see a whistle off of the psychologist and onto the barmaid.
Yeah, the psychologist is hiding inside the gate, so that if need be, she can crawl out before the disciple gets over to the gate.
Yeah, Seer isn't too far as well. Maybe Seer could accumulate another owl. Seer's getting awfully close right here. It's tough because you have one Seer on the other end and then barmaid on the other. And psychologist is able
Looks
to
like
pick
the
herself
Seer
up.
did get another owl here, though.
Oh.
Beautiful owl coming off of the Seer.
Yeah, good anticipation, but it does look like we're gonna get oh, that's tough. Mercenary can body block this potentially. Oh, excellent hit on the
unfortunately, we
Seer.
are seeing the Seer go down here.
Careful, careful, careful. Will pullers be able to crawl through?
Oh,
No, we
no,
are going to be seeing
unfortunately, we are seeing
elimination.
the Seer leave. They're back to the manor here. Really intense match.
For sure. Oh my goodness, that had me off the edge of my seat. Good on Endertons for getting that Seer. That was a lot of pressure from these nations' end, but both teams really did phenomenal right here. We're gonna have a look at the deduction score here. Yeah, really excellent kite from the barmaid, especially early round. We are gonna be seeing 237 seconds on behalf of the barmaid. Of course, that's combined with the early round and late round. That goes for everybody, but really great stuff. There's a lot of discipline from these survivors as well, and 3 rescues off the mercenary, 1 from the barmaid, 1 from the Seer, 2 heals from the barmaid, and of course, psychologist did pass off a heal to barmaid as well with that whistle.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just the double back at the end there wasn't really able to get the body block off on the Merc there, so they were both able to escape. We had a really great start to this match with being able to lose the psychologist and go straight for the barmaid, who was able to utilize the extra distance and speed boost that came with the broken windows here. And then obviously the great owl that really helped carry the final heal off on the barmaid, and the extra pressure on the chair.
Yeah, I definitely think that pullers knew just when to use those owls. We saw 3 of them. I think it was, yeah, there was one in the middle end, and then towards the end too, anticipating getting hit by those cats. If he had not owled there, I'm sure that Endertons would have gone for that hit, but it really forced Endertons to switch targets, which is a really difficult thing to do when you're at that gate and all of the survivors are there. Lots of pressure. Another thing that I thought was super fun to see was the amount of chest utilization, really. You could see Mercenary and Barmaid switching between so many items. There was a lot of elbow pads going on, a couple of perfumes as well. And not even just for themselves, but for one another. We saw some switch offs, and of course the process of switching between items and moving them around as well is pretty tedious because you really have to spam that button all while you're moving. It's really great stuff.
Really nice being able to see even that trick being utilized um even in tournament scenes. I know I picked it up during Hall of the Abyss, watching all of these high tier teams really utilize the extra space that you can get with swapping out items like that. We are going into our ban and picks for maps. We are seeing a Arms Factory ban and a pick for Sacred Heart Hospital.
Ooh, fun stuff. I know Sacred Heart Hospital is a really, really great map for activators. I know Mirone usually hunts, but it's good for Endertons as well, and as well as their survivors in general. It does look like we're going to be having the D's Nation survivors up again first. So we're going to be seeing them back to back.
All right. Really interesting. Kind of interesting on the Arms Factory ban here. But understandably so, especially when you think of the hunters that Mission just seems to play. Obviously you have Opera Singer and you have the Geisha.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lots of blind spots.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Mushin's a fan of Ars Factory, and honestly, I can't fault anybody for that.
Sorry.
Definitely a lot of terrain and obstacles, whatever, that can really get in the way of your hits. And I know when it comes to like Geisha, Opera Singer, it's so easy to have like a really good pursuit, but then just accidentally slap like a barrel or something. It happens.
And we have seen in the past that Mission really knows how to handle how big Sacred Heart Hospital is when it comes to playing, especially Geisha, really pulling for distance on someone who can close that gap super fast. Really interested in seeing who Mushin plays here.
Though I do believe that Mushin is going to be hunting after Endertons, and I'm also interested in seeing what they end up choosing. I wonder what hunter band they're gonna go for. They put up a formidable fight against Anne, and I definitely think that the team comp did take Enderton's other picks, possible picks, into consideration. But we could be seeing Hermit taken off the table. We could be seeing Hermit. I would love to see some Hermit gameplay, but I think Wax Artist is pretty good on this map too.
I not too keen on a Wax Artist play here, just because you know, if you get into a space with a lot of coverage, unfortunately you will be able to miss the wax. Looks like we are seeing a Seer and Barmaid global ban come into play here.
That's right. And honestly, even though we aren't going to be seeing them again from DN, I think that getting them in round 1 was really crucial for that first match. They did so exceptionally well. It really goes to show that no matter how much you change these two characters, they will always be like a solid duo together, just because of the essence of their kits, really.
Yeah, and it looks like we are seeing a Priestess and Dancer ban come into play here. Really great bans on a map like Sacred Heart. Priestess, obviously, because getting trapped in the hospital loop with her is unbearable. And obviously you have the Dancer with the fall speed buff. When she drops out of high spaces, she gets an extra boost.
Yeah, and there's just like a lot of optimal music box placements, both slow and fast, really. We are going to be having Prospector and Psychologist as the first locked in. Oh, anyways, we're also going to see a Hermit ban as well. Good decision, honestly.
For sure. really enjoying seeing the rise of Prospector again.
Don't bring him up. I stopped
Stop.
talking because the Norton mania was like catching up to me.
um, but
But
seeing
I
Prospector
agree.
be utilized more on a map like Sacred Heart, lots of wall space, tight spaces, being able to get that stun in, even though the stun time was shortened in his last nerf, still really pulls for some extra distance when you're trying to evade the hunter or get the hunter off of someone else for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I definitely think that these choices also account for um, possibly seeing Disciple once again. I know that Prospector is pretty notorious for being a Disciple counter.
Yeah, really anticipating the disciple here. Looks like we are seeing another antiquarian band come off of Endertons here. Um, you know, this one makes a lot of sense. These three bands on a map like this. Antiquarian always universally banned, nowadays, just because, she is a very strong stunner.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just for her team, but her skills definitely work for even just her own kites. It's honestly tough to chase her. We are going to be seeing Magician locked in as their third pick and Patient banned as well.
Yeah, we're seeing that patient ban, which means Endertons is playing not for distance here. He really does not want the surviving team to get the extra pull on him.
Gardener as our last choice.
Love seeing Gardner, the poster child, being used more and more nowadays. Really pulling through. Hoping to see that opera singer come out on Enderton's side here.
Sorry,
Sorry, I
I
was
just
laughing
saw.
at what they were
Yeah,
doing.
said to ban Hell Elver. That's too funny. Well, it's okay because
It's
technically he's
okay.
already banned because Mirona is not playing. But
It's okay.
um
Mushin was also trying to get some laughs in. I was trying not to laugh at that too.
I know I saw the XD. Me too. We are waiting in on those persona webs. I hope we get to see some how do I put this? No borrow time. I just feel like it would be fun,
Sorry.
especially since DN has like the point lead. I think it gives them flexibility room.
I love death builds. They're my favorite to utilize. If you ever play with me or you see me around, just know I'm not ever bringing borrowed time. So every time I see it in a tournament nowadays, I'm very happy because now I feel like I'm not the only one.
I'm so here for
Because
that.
as long as I'm bringing two traits, I think everything should be fine.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, I'm sorry, but maybe it's just because I don't rank anymore, but when I do, there are so many people who only bring like one final talent and it's never even borrowed time.
It's just flywheel.
Yeah.
Always flywheel.
I mean, I think it would be funny to see it in a tournament, but um that's different because I'm just a spectator. I'm just commentating with you guys and
I'm just here. All right, it does look like we have everyone except the psychologist
Gardener's
bringing
bringing
flywheel.
yeah, they're
Yes,
yeah.
I love 912.
Yeah, so we are going to be having Prospector on Flywheel Borrowed Time, Gardener on Broken Windows and Flywheel, Psychologist on Broken Windows and Borrowed Time, and Magician on Flywheel Borrowed Time.
Like the
So it's
gardener
like
knew I
a
was here.
yeah. So it's a no tied team, which is also going to be fun. But I think that especially considering from what we've seen of DN, they can definitely kite not just on their own, but with the help of each other.
Yeah, and Enderton's banning all those survivors that really can push for distance really means that as a group, our survivors here have to pull for distance in other ways. So utilizing the broken windows, especially on a map like Secret Heart, where you really want to get that good transition in, super
Yeah,
helpful.
absolutely. I agree. And we are just about to get Enderton's hunter pick with bated breath. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like we're just slowly filtering everyone in here. Um, and now we're waiting on Enderton's hunter choice here. Oh,
Gamekeeper! Oh, we're
Gamekeeper,
going to be
we're
seeing
gonna
some
see
Bane.
Bane.
Honestly, I like him for this map.
I
Not to
did
go
too.
against, but I think because of the layout, there's a lot of room to do some really tricky hooks.
For sure.
They're hard to get
And
out to if you're a survivor. Oof. And really
to,
good places to put down the traps as well.
mm-hmm.
Um, especially if you set them up early, you often see gamekeepers put them by the windows or like by the walkways.
And to go back to the Gardner bringing flywheel and broken windows, first kite with that would go very well in their favor. When you think of the fact that the Gardner also has veterans boost.
That's definitely
So
good to think about.
definitely taking a hit and vaulting gets you the extra speed to transition to a whole entire other location and really pulling some distance on the hunter.
Of course, Gamekeeper can also break that distance as well with that hook. Um, and slow down survivors as well. But we are going to be proceeding to the area selection now. It looks like Green is playing the Gardener, Polar's on Prospector, Sally on Psychologist once again, and Bossy on Magician. Oh, last second switch in Hunter Spawn. I'm definitely hoping for that Gardener first kite as mentioned. And we are proceeding to round 2, the first half, with DN Survivors versus the Activators Hunter. Good luck to both teams. All right, so Gamekeeper is going over towards the hospital area where Green is currently dismantling a chair. And it does really give Green away to the Hunter, so we are going to be seeing that Gardener first chase.
Definitely makes sense. We're watching the gamekeeper is putting down traps in great areas that are perfect vaulting spaces.
Yeah,
Using
great
the hook
utilization
to
of the hook.
really
Oh, don't take that vault! Yeah, we
oh
are going to be seeing Gardener stuck in that trap here that Enderton set up so early on. But Prospector is not too far off. We did see a magnet right there. And it does look like Prospector is going down those stairs to assist with that Gardener. Camping the nice patient on Enderton's end to wait for that that magnet stun as well as the pallet stun that could have happened there. But it does give Gardener huge distance, and the only trail in sight seems to be Prospectors. Oh, it does look like Gamekeeper is bringing Peepers.
looks like we're really anticipating we were anticipating the Gardner taking that first kite. The psychologist using her empathy to take the damage off of the Gardner, bringing everyone back at full health. And really allowing the Gardener to set up once again to redeem herself with a kite if the opportunity does persist and
Oh,
come up.
great hook over here.
Whoa!
Good on Polars for not taking that vault right away, though. Super tempting, but definitely could have resulted in a Terror Shock. And, oh, nice doubling back to try and get that Magnet Stun to activate, but Enderton's really is really patient when it comes to the
Ooh,
magnets, but not for the
great
pallets
pallets
because we are
done.
gonna see that pallets done, right? Dungeon does seem to be here, so we do have 3 ciphers remaining. And Prospector is not too far off from Magician, who does have to get off his cipher here, but it does look like Enderton's is still committed to Prospector.
Yeah, it looks like we're really pushing and pulling for some distance. Just being able to break the magnet, and the
Oh.
loop off of.
Yeah, nice decoy over there to trap Enderton's a bit. Uh, a nice hook and hit there. It does put Magician at a bit of a vulnerable state because it does look like we are going to be seeing Enderton switch over to Chase Bossy as well now. Just one hook and that could be a down, but we are going to take the vault over here, and it does look like someone has taken over Magician's Cipher, but
Great
despite the
hook.
decoy, that was a really great hook to down the Magician. And we are going to be approaching that the chair by the cipher. He's really got to be careful here because of that magnet stun. But nope, Prospector is not able to get that magnet stun, and Magician goes down in the chair. It does put a damper on the decoding over here, but they do have pretty solid progress with 2 ciphers remaining on the board. Now we do have Gardener here making a reappearance. Oh, trying to hook her into that trap twice. Ouch.
Whoa.
That makes for really good stalling, especially as Magician approaches the halfway point. Psychologist has also closed in, and Magician is pushed past half. Nice pallet stun, but does get a hit through the Gardener regardless. We are going to be seeing both Psychologist and Gardener go for the rescue, and Gardener has already activated her bubble. Oh, and Psychologist is able to take the hit.
We are unfortunately at one
Oh.
cipher here, taking down the Psychologist. The last cipher that does seem to be pushed on. You're watching as the Prospector is running off of it to really help assist here.
Gardener needs to be careful because at the moment she's the most vulnerable one, and just one hook can get her downed. It does look like Prospector is gaining in, but Enderton's is going for that cipher that they've recently started.
Yeah, being able to get the Psychologist off the chair, really pushing on each cipher here. It's just really unfortunate on the Hunter side here, especially with changing your targets so often early in the match. Really forcing. Oh, great flywheel coming off of the Prospector here. The Gardener in the vicinity still really.
Oh no! Magician
no.
picked up the magnet, and Gardener's bubble does break right here, and we are going to see Prospector go down.
Okay, we are seeing really trying to utilize the Prospector.
Yeah, we're gonna go in for that instant rescue. It does look like Psychologist was able to prime the previous cipher, so Enderton's is really gonna have to be relying on his hook right here. Really playing the waiting game right here with the Magician, who is... Oh, we're gonna be seeing teleport. A teleport switch trait, I mean. And we're not going to see Enderton's go for that hook. Great patience in that regard. But we are going to be seeing, a failed stun. No
Trying to drag that
elevator
Magician up.
Oh, we're going to
my
be
God.
top, but Magician goes straight into that trap and gets downed right here.
We are seeing the Magician go back to the manor here then. The Gardener breaking this chair here, allowing a little bit of crawl space. Unfortunately, with the Magician going back to the manor immediately, we are going to unfortunately see probably the gamekeeper teleport to the other gate here. Looks like they're anticipating that and trying to space themselves out away from the gate. Yeah, teleporting to that back gate where the Prospector and the Psychologist
Prospector's
are.
long gone.
Yep. Just anticipating the teleport to the other side of the map because the Gardener was able to keep herself That's pretty distant, pretty decent distance away from the
Yeah,
gate,
though
not
that hook
being able
does.
to give
Oh, the hook
Leonidas.
doesn't quite get to the wall right there. But with Enderton's on that Gardener, who is just like a chip hit away from going down. Really, we are going to see a bubble right here, so we're really going to have to be careful if Gardener can push for that dungeon. But it does look like Gardener is going to be utilizing this pallet quite a bit. Uh, Setting up some traps over by the dungeon, honestly smart move. However, Prospector has already made it to that gate, and oh my goodness, this is gonna be a really tough call. Oh, nice flywheel. Oh my goodness. Oh, great
Nice
flywheel right there
flywheel
too.
again.
And we are going to be seeing a 3-man escape. Congratulations, DN, for the win.
Congrats.
Really great job from both teams. Oh, that was really exciting. I wasn't anticipating seeing Gamekeeper at all, but that was super fun to watch. Unfortunately, we aren't able to have a look at the deduction score, but definitely props to Prospector for that support, Magician, and Gardener for those kites, and then Psychologist for that support as well.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really interesting and also stressful match to watch. Stressful on the gamekeeper side, just because you have
Mm-hmm.
a team composition that really goes for speed here, despite the distance bans. You have a prospector and the gardener, who are both two survivors that get extra speed boosts in various degrees. Uh, Especially when you have the prospector who can get a speed boost when he runs by ciphers and or lockers, and of course you have the gardener with veterans boost and the broken windows.
Yeah, definitely. Um, we are going to be moving into the second half of round two. It does give activator survivors some pressure since they would need a 4-man escape to proceed into round three. But I definitely think they could pull it off if they.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does look like we might possibly see someone, a
Yeah,
different character from Mushin's end.
yeah, it looks like we're going to see something new from Motions, and as long as the opposing team agrees. Really interesting layout here.
Mm,
Really interesting. I mean, I definitely agree with the chat. Like these matches today so far have been super crazy. Um, and these survivors today are definitely definitely playing with their lives here. Um,
mm-hmm.
Really
I think
interesting.
Yeah, I think the what's being debated on is whether or not Fool's Gold can be utilized. So it is going to be a talk that has to happen with the players as well as the tournament staff. Um, it would be really interesting to see, although I do feel like it is rather early for Fool's Gold to turn
I
up.
was gonna say, um, definitely a little too early. And the unfortunate thing is, you might have more knowledge, but I do not have as much knowledge on him. I'm not seeing him very often yet, to really speak on anything.
Yeah, no worries at all. It does it does definitely depend on the team as well. I wouldn't want them to be put in a situation where they just haven't had enough practice against Fool's Gold. Just
Mhm.
to assume, and just to keep things fair, especially since Novelist was not permitted prior.
Yes, for sure. Um, just an interesting position for us to be in here. A little.
It's definitely like there's a lot of points to consider, because we don't know how much practice both teams have had with Fool's Gold. Obviously, this is not to diss anybody's experience and capabilities, but just because it's definitely like uncharted territories completely, and it's like we also have to have a balance between making things fair for everybody.
Mhm.
And if newer characters were allowed, and like I suppose like um cherry picking characters to be able to play and to not play, um I guess just creates a difficult situation and even further debate. And of course, because this tourney is about halfway in, uh
It does
having
look
these
like.
added later on, you know.
Mhm. It does look like we are going to see the new hunter being played, but it does look like our host is saying that even if it's not in the rules, if you're going to play the new hunter, they can counter it with the other ones. So we would be able to probably see cheerleader and novelist here. Um, so unfortunately, you might see a little bit of rocky commentary coming from my end. Um, if we are seeing a fool's gold, you're gonna see a little bit of rocky commentary come from my end, just because I have not seen him very often. To speak on him, he has only been here for about 3 days. So, um, unfortunately, I am a little bit rocky on my knowledge here. Uh, but we do also have some backup options coming off of Mushin here, as we're slowly trying to decide on what we're doing here. Uh, the only concern is bending the rules for the other teams in the future. Um, that really does come into play here, because if we allow it for one person, we would have to allow it for the rest. Um, looks like we are starting off here, putting in our bans. We're banning Priestess and Antiquarian here. Really universal bans on a map like Sacred Heart. Definitely don't want to deal with the Priestess here on Sacred Heart, because she does have the crazy loop inside the hospital. Um,
Mhm.
and of course Antiquarian, because she is a great stunner.
Definitely, and thank you so much for carrying us while I had to step out for a bit. But while everything's getting sorted out, we are going to be proceeding into the bans and picks shortly. I mean, on the bright side, if we do end up seeing Fool's Gold, the Norton Mania will allow me to elaborate on what's going on. I think he's definitely like a really fun hunter to both play and go against. But yeah. So, aside from the Antiquarian and Priestess ban, uh, Activators has locked in with Gravekeeper and Batter. Definitely. Mm, have we come to a decision on whether or not?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, okay, because I feel like we shouldn't proceed into the bans and picks because there are definitely characters that you can choose, and I feel like that's what's happening right now because Gravekeeper is great against Fool's Gold. However, the question is whether or not Fool's Gold is going to be in play. Have you gone up against Fool's Gold, as has anyone in chat gone up against Fool's Gold? What are your thoughts?
Unfortunately. He is super similar to both Opera Singer and Naiad.
I definitely think he has some similarities to Naiad, though. They both have their own strengths and weaknesses. I know one that really sticks out to me is that even if Fool's Gold does not have his pickaxe, he can still basic hit. He just throws in a punch, and I don't know what else to say other than like that's kind of scary, but also like it gives a lot of leeway for the hunter, especially considering how crazy the pickaxe cooldown currently is right now. It's only 6 seconds, and that's not a lot.
Yeah, fortunately, what I've seemed to notice nowadays is that NetEase IDV itself pushes out new hunters, not even survivors, because I mean some of the survivors we've gotten recently are like, yeah, they're kind of strong, but like a lot of the newer hunters we've gotten, like Opera Singer and now Fool's Gold, they're trying super hard to counter like some of the kits that they've already implemented into some of the survivors, and not really thinking about like the older survivors that don't have the same strengths as the new ones, which, you know, a lot of people still rely on older survivors.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really interesting point to bring up, and I definitely agree with that too. I wonder, okay, in your opinion, what qualifies as like a more older survivor? Like, what would you say is the cutoff? I think that's like a really interesting point, but I feel like it might vary for lots of people, especially considering when they've started playing Identity 5.
Yeah, because like you have a lot of people from like earlier seasons, like you or me, who have been playing since season 10 or so,
No,
or even
sorry.
before that. You know,
Yeah. I think I started in season 13, but definitely that's a long time ago, all things considered. All right, so while we're getting things officially set out, we can tell you what's been decided so far. So we did initially have that Antiquarian and Priestess ban. I do believe that Magician and Lawyer were the universal bans, and Activators initially locked in as Gravekeeper and Batter. And then it was followed by a Dancer ban, as well as
yeah, I mean,
we're going
we're going to be seeing no matter what Motion play this Fool's Gold, just because of the point gap we have here, it does seem like the host is kind of like, well, like we can just have our fun match before we move on to the next segment, which I totally understand because I know that's what the other team is saying here too. It does kind of put both teams at a disadvantage anyways, especially because this hunter just came out, so you had the disadvantage of a really um really new kit,
Hmm.
and then you also have survivors who may have not seen him.
For sure. And just to finish off the thought, I did want to say that we are going to be having Seer and Patient as the final survivors on Activator's end. And of course, we are going to be going up against Fool's Gold, I believe. And definitely it's going to be a bigger conversation to be had. But
Hmm.
for now, we can just enjoy the process and see this really early access. Uh, oh, and if it's just to mention, it we did have dancer as well as psychologist band, which honestly, not too bad of a choice too.
Hmm.
So we are going to be locking personas and going through with this matchup with Gravekeeper Batter, Seer, and Patient up against Fool's Gold, and we are going to be locking in personas.
Yeah, looks like we are slowly locking in our personas. So we have our whole entire match layout here. We have the ban on Priestess, Antiquarian, and then we also have, for choices, the Batter, Gravekeeper, Seer, and Patient. So definitely going for distance and speed.
Yeah, I think the key here really is to have a solid first kite. I don't know what build Mushin is gonna go for, but if you don't have that, even just like that first presence, you're at it like survivors will be at a huge advantage. Once you
Mm-hmm.
get first presence with Fool's Gold, you unlock the I believe it's like here I can double check,
Looks
but
like looks like we are going for to make this match count. Um, if Mushin ties this, it does look like DN wins, and if they oh no, and if it ties, we go into round 3. If Mushin wins,
mhm.
3-man escape is the qualifier to move into round 3.
Oh, okay, sounds good. But yeah, definitely, regardless of the outcome, what they really want to go for is to have to extend their first kite. Once once Fool's Gold is able to unlock that magnetic conversion, the rock, um he has more free range to create the unstable ground, and the unstable ground is essentially when the pickaxe is lodged into an obstacle, it makes unstable ground around it. You'll be able to tell because there's that outline similar to opera singers, and then you'll see that they're cracked. That means it's unstable ground. If he's able to hit the pickaxe again and stuff, or pull it back from there, it'll create a collapse which can chip damage, and you can do it more than once as well. So they really need to be mindful for that. We did just get the persona webs in, and it does look like everyone's going to be bringing borrowed time. We have we have Batter on Flywheel Effect, and Seer and Patient will be bringing Broken Windows, and of course Gravekeeper will be bringing Tide Turner.
Okay, I definitely I can understand exactly what is going on in the conversation we are having. Sacred Heart is a relatively survivor-sided map, and as acknowledged previously, Mission is at a huge disadvantage here. Whether or not the survivors are at a disadvantage as well. Because he just came out here. Mission is purposely giving himself the disadvantage. I think that he is also trying to use this
Mm-hmm.
as a learning point for himself. as well as just to really test his limits. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
there was also the opportunity for activators to either play the novelist rework or cheerleader in this scenario. um, so we just tried very hard to make sure that this is even and fair playing fields for both teams.
Hmm. All I can really say is that considering the um, amount of effort all teams are putting in right now, and they've just been giving us consistent, um, exciting matches that really put us on the edge of our seats. All of these matches we've got to witness so far have just been really, really exciting. I don't know what other word I can use to explain, but I think it's just going to go all the more exciting because of the new things we're going to be seeing in this match.
Mm-hmm. For sure, I definitely wholeheartedly 100% agree. Um, really interested to see how this match goes then.
Team here, I think we're just waiting in on Mickey's ex, but I'm interested in seeing who plays who, and of course I'm interested in seeing Fool's Gold. I'm like a little bit embarrassed to admit that I kind of wailed for him, but it was kind of worth it because he was really fun to play. And I'm not a hunter player by any means, but um he does have a kit that I just genuinely enjoy. But considering that I'm like a cobra at best, I still have a lot to learn. Um, yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. This is how I felt with Naiad when she came out, even though I wasn't even wailing for her.
All right, so we are going to be proceeding to the area selection. Mirone is on Seer. Silent Fox is on Patient. Shulk is on Batter. Oh, we have Arthas playing, and they're going to be playing Gravekeeper.
All right, we
All
have a
right.
really interesting team composition coming in here.
All right, and we are going to be having Fool's Gold spawn over in the forest corner.
Mhm.
This is the second half of round 2 with the Activator Survivors versus the D's Nation Hunter. Good luck to both teams. All right, so Mushin is immediately going to utilize that pickaxe. It really makes for closing in some distance, but Batter and Seer are both in hospital. Now we are going to see Mushin choose his first target, which seems to be Mirone. And he's already created an unstable ground, so Mirone just really has to be careful about going here. And good on Seer to decide to get away, but oh, don't. Okay,
Oh,
we're going to be seeing the vault. That was the unstable ground, and because he hit it again with a pickaxe, it caused a collapse, which did chip hit the Seer. Mirone really has to be careful of getting away from the purple area, which is where the unstable ground is. But utilizing the owl, just be careful of the, yeah, okay. So the drawback also creates a collapse, and hitting the pickaxe on the unstable ground did create a chip hit to get off that owl. And yeah, okay, we are going to be seeing Mirone go down here, unfortunately. But the thing about Fool's Gold is that he can chip hit twice with that unstable ground. Both with when you hit the pickaxe on unstable ground, and when you recall it from unstable ground. It's really brutal.
thank you for the commentary, Carrie, because this is also the position of I don't know what's going on.
No, don't worry.
Um,
I blame the Norton Mania. It does look like we have Gravekeeper in the area, and honestly, Gravekeeper is the most solid choice to go for the rescue here. He's a really good counter to Fool's Gold. And, alright, nice patience on the Gravekeeper's end. We are gonna see a clean rescue, but Mirane really just has to be careful of this vault. Oh no, unfortunately, we are going to be seeing, Mirane go down after tide ends, but Shulk the Batter is closing in. We're possibly going to see some support over here, but Yeah, good on Silent Fox from getting away from the magnetic rock over there. That also creates some unstable ground that if the pickaxe were to hit, he would have gotten chip hit. Oh, and we are going to be seeing a missed hit from the batter over here, but batter's still in the area to retrieve that ball and hopefully go in for second rescue.
Yeah, looks like we have a lot of distance and a lot of really great plays coming from both teams. Um, Obviously you have the extra support coming off of the batter here, really pushing for getting this rescue off at a decent time. Really,
Oh,
oh,
unfortunately,
just
Mirone is
getting.
going to go down from here. Um, let's see if... Oh,
Oh
unfortunately, aren't going to
no.
see that ball hit, and Seer will get eliminated from the game right now. Batter is going to be our next kite, and he does still have... Oh, be careful of the unstable ground. Nice flywheel, but unfortunately, because of the pickaxe recall, he is chipped 2 down.
Yeah, unfortunately, both teams, even if you were able to pick up on the counter here, both teams do have the little bit of disadvantage. This is one of, from what I've noticed, Mushin's best maps here too. Um, and of
Mhm.
course, you have the disadvantage of a new hunter on the playing field.
For sure. So it does look like Mushin is kind of camping that cipher over there with the magnetic force. Though I do think that it could also be utilized over here. It's a really strong area with... Oh, oh yeah, okay. Unfortunately, Batter is going to go down here. It was a good rescue on the Gravekeeper's part. It's really tough to rescue against Fool's Gold the most, I feel, because he can so easily chip you twice and then get you down with a basic hit. Especially with this unstable ground that's been created here.
Mhm.
Again, if the pickaxe is hit or recalled from this unstable ground, it creates a collapse, which does result in the chip hits. But Patient is closing in, going to utilize that hook here, but he really needs to be careful of the unstable ground. He was able to dodge that pickaxe recall, but oh, we are going to see Batter get hit once again, and unfortunately, Shulk will get sent back to the manor if he's put on that chair. Great hook from Silent Fox right here. Ooh. Alright, we are going to be seeing Batter get sent back to the manor right here. Patient is really close to getting down as well, but it does look like Gravekeeper and Patient are kind of in the area. Doesn't quite catch Gravekeeper, who is hiding really well behind the pallets, but Patient is going to transition over towards the hospital. Now, oh, great hook into the hospital, but unfortunately due to the unstable ground, I believe the final presence, if you make that unstable ground, it already causes a collapse. And it looks like Mushin guessed over here that Gravekeeper possibly went back to the cipher, but it looks like uh, he's going back over to the ruins where Gravekeeper so happens to be. These are the other worked on ciphers.
Yeah, looks like we're rotating back over towards the patient here. Um, really trying to make sure that the gravekeeper does not end up with the hatch. Um,
Hmm.
Still
Yeah,
has a
so
shovel in him, it seems.
for sure. It does
So,
look like Mushin is going to opt to like patrol the whole map, but he's approaching Gravekeeper, who just finished the cipher over in Shack Ruins. Uh,
seems
not
like
quite
Bushin is
sure.
anticipating him rotating to that other cipher. Really
Hmm.
losing sight of where the gravekeeper might be.
And Patient just picked
Using
himself up.
Oh, okay. Patient picking himself up. The gravekeeper able to use those shovels to deflect the uneven ground here, and leaving the patient to decode.
Though Mushin does catch sight of that patient, especially with the moving cipher. It's got a decent amount of progress, and we do have some unstable ground here. It lasts for about 20 seconds after it's been caused as well. So patient just really has to be careful here and just needs to keep transitioning. But unfortunately, he is going to go down right here.
Yeah, the Gravekeeper still has more shovel left in him. Not being able to pick up any items to support.
And we are going to be seeing Mushin scan the area. Unfortunately, patient won't be able to pick himself up, but we could potentially push for dungeon escape if Arthas can survive for great blink to get Gravekeeper out of that shovel. So we are going to be seeing a 4-man.
Watching the Gravekeeper perspective, that shovel went all the way through. It was very unfortunate.
Oh, that really, really sucks. I really hate when that happens, when your skill is just about to get, like, to take effect, and it doesn't. Yeah, really tough stuff. So I'm having a look at the data right here. Yeah, 23 strikes. Fool's Gold is a really hard-hitting hunter, and the fact that he can attack you in so many different ways, the fact that he can chip you twice consecutively, the fact that he can still basic attack even after he's launched his pickaxe, and of course just like the basic hit with a pickaxe in general. It's no Wu-Tang hitbox, but it's large regardless. I will say this now, it is a bit of a slower hit for anybody that wants to keep that in mind for their future Fool's Gold matches. But of course, there's just so much to consider, and of course he's still new. Everybody has to get their practice in for him. I would say, I think great job on Activator's end for putting up like a really good fight, despite not having much experience with Fool's Gold. I don't think anyone really does, and that's not anyone's fault. It's just that I think he was released this Wednesday, I believe, and it
was only 3 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lot to consider, and of course, the likelihood of going up against him is a lot lower currently, just due to Ashes of Memory Part 2, which I hope everyone's enjoying right now.
Yeah, I mean, we had some really, really intense and heavy matches today. Both teams put up great fights. We had the intense Disciple match in the beginning here, and of course that Greenkeeper match really had a lot of us on our seats and a little stressed out.
Absolutely. Oh, it was really exciting to watch all of these matches. I had a lot of fun. Both teams are honestly really skilled. It was a fun matchup. I hope to see more of both, and we are going to be giving this round to D's Nation. So congrats to D's Nation, and of course, commendable job for Activators as well. It's always fun to see Activators play.
Yeah, really great match, great team. Having that one, the end match, had us a little stressed out, I think. But I really, really do appreciate you really carrying me at the end there. I felt so bad not being able to speak on anything. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about Fool's Gold to speak, but luckily we had Mixie in their Norton meeting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ever since, okay, I feel the need to defend myself because it's not a recent thing. It was just like no, it was kind of a recent thing. I've been a Prospector fan for so long.
It's been lurking in the shadows. Don't worry.
Ever since Hunter Norton was revealed, I was like, oh, Norton Mania is real. But he's a really fun hunter to go up against and to play as. And I appreciate you all listening to me ramble because, again, this is a serious condition, and I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon.
No, I get it. I'll be with you once we get Miss Veronaire's identity swap.
Can't wait. And thank you everyone for joining us for this round.
Thank
Really
you.
big thank you to D's Nation and activators as well for making the time to play, as well as the staff. The staff works so incredibly hard. And I'm just really thankful for everybody. And of course, I'm thankful to S for commentating with me and again for letting me ramble so much.
Oh my god, of course. I always have so much fun when I get to commentate with everyone and just be here. You know, even though I'm not actively participating in a lot of Identity V community things as much as I used to, being able to sit here and still talk and share both the love and knowledge I have for the game with you or Bones or everyone else, it makes me really happy to be able to sit here and just chat or watch these teams play with each other. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, very well
Overall,
said.
just super excited to see what the rest of the day holds because I do know at about 4:30, so in about an hour and a half, we will have Bones and Joey commentating.
Yes, I'm so excited. Um, yeah, I really hope you'll stick around for their matches as well. It's going to be vice versa versus QNY at 4:30 p.m. EST, and of course, you'll probably see me and S around as well. If we're not on Checkmate, we do play Identity 5 together, especially on Twitch. What else? Oh, I have a Seafog, a shredded Bellastain cover. That's about it. That's all I can
You
promote.
do.
And S did the art for it too, okay? So
Oh,
you have
thank
to check it
you.
out. You have to check it out.
Yes,
I think
make
he did a
sure
great job.
make sure you check out Mixie's Bellasting cover, and if you aren't following either of us on Twitter, we are active on there. Well, not me as much anymore. But I am slowly returning to join IDV, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of what else to say. Oh yeah, so we are going to be having like further discussion regarding the rules of the tournament and what characters will be picked. So I appreciate everybody hanging tight and just going with the flow of the tournament. I know not everything is perfect, but everyone does work really hard, and we are going to further discuss to make sure things are evened out and settled with everybody, so we're all on the same page. We will definitely. I think you'll be able to stay up to date in the Checkmate Discord server as well.
Yeah. I do agree there is a lot of conversation going on right now. It does seem like we are slowly deciding and coming on the decision of no fool's gold at all the rest of the tournament. I think this was kind of just it for this match here. Just because, the point gap was a little bit on the high end. Um, and I think if both teams allow, it does seem like we are going to try and say yes for novelists.
So definitely
So
keep
make
an eye
sure.
out.